So I just read the book Atomic Habits, 10 out of 10 book, like great book. And I just kind of want to share what I kind of got from that book and kind of give you like the spark notes because I know a lot of people don't like reading or whatnot, but I really enjoy reading, so I got a lot of value from it. I feel like you get a lot of value from this video right here, just like the spark notes version. The main focus of the book is like focus on just getting better, like just 1% better every single day, right? Like if you think about this as like interest in your bank, like you open up a bank account that's like 5% interest, you keep throwing a couple bucks. If you stay consistent and throw like $5 in there every single day, like $5 is not a lot, but compounded over time, you'll have a lot of like money in a few years. You might not have a lot of money in like a week, 2 weeks, or even a month. It's gonna take years. And yeah, so like the best, yeah, so the best way to create a habit is to kind of focus on like the process and not like the product, because the process is what gets you. So like you're here and trying to get here, so stop focusing on like how to get here when you're here and focus on the steps to get there, and take slow action steps like every single day instead of just by making like, I think you can make one giant leap, right? It's not one giant leap, it's going to be a lot of small steps, but like progress isn't linear, and no steps, or even the one step, 2 steps is better than no steps. Sometimes you gotta take one step back for 2 steps forward. That's just the way life goes. But there are 4 laws on how to create a good habit. Like how a habit is, there's a cue, a craving, a response, and a reward, right? So like the cue, when it comes to like the cue, you want to make it obvious. When it comes to the craving, you want to make it attractive. The response, you want to make it easy. The reward, make it satisfying. And there's an invert to break a habit. So instead of making it obvious, you make it invisible. Instead of making it attractive, you make it unattractive. Instead of easy, you make it hard. And instead of being satisfying, unsatisfying. Right now, that sounds really simple. And honestly, like it is simple when you think about it. Like this book isn't like telling you all these hard things. It's just a lot of value and like what you do with it after that, right? So like the first thing is like making it obvious. All right, and the 2 most common cues are time and location, right? So you should have a location that you only do like one specific thing. So I'm not sure if a lot of you guys journal. I journal. I'm a big fan of it. And I used to journal at my desk. Also at my desk, I would do schoolwork. Sometimes I would watch YouTube and eat dinner. Like, my desk was for everything. I would FaceTime my girlfriend. But I said you should have one specific location for every single thing, right? So your mind is in that, right? So maybe journal, like you have a special chair where you journal. So as soon as you get there, your mind flips a switch and you're able to journal. Or like the kitchen, you should only eat, that's why when you go in the kitchen, you get hungry out of nowhere, right? You could also like kind of use this to habit stacking, as they call it in the book. Like you do one habit after another one. Like so if every day you shower, right? And then after you shower, you want to like wash your face. Say like you could write down like after my shower, I'm gonna wash my face. You're already doing one habit, so then you'll just do the other one. So the inversion of obvious is like making it visible, or like you don't see it. So let's say you need to write an essay, you need to get a lot of schoolwork done. Like even if like looking at your phone or filling your phone in your pocket, like you're gonna want to like go to just like check it. But if you put your phone in the other room, for example, then you're not even thinking about it. It's not obvious. It's invisible. Like you don't even see it. So I even go to like smoking cigarettes. Like I never smoke cigarettes, but like if you don't make the cartons like where you have someone like hide them. So the only time you can ever smoke is if your spouse or your friend, like if you find them, because they make it invisible, they try to hide them from you. And you also need to make them, so the next law is like making it attractive, right? It sounds pretty simple, like how are you gonna make a habit attractive? But it's actually not that hard. So like all habits have like a feedback loop of dopamine. Like even like the anticipation of doing something causes dopamine. Like if you're driving to dinner, like and the restaurant you're going to, like, there's a dish you like it's a nice New York strip, like the anticipation of eating that steak is gonna give you dopamine, and you're just gonna like be like just hungry. It's gonna make you even more hungry just thinking about that, right? um so, and you could even like use that like um reward system. So let's say like you are at work and you have to write an essay. You don't want to write the essay. Who wants to write an essay? But after you're like, all right, after I write this essay, I'm gonna like throw on the Red Sox game, or I'm gonna like do something that you enjoy, So then it's a reward system. Like, all right, like if I get this essay done, I could watch the good old Boston Red Sox. Like, use that to your advantage. So we've all heard the saying, "You are who you hang out with," and you could use that into building or breaking habits, right? So because every time, like if you want to if you like want to go to the gym, you want to like meet high-end people or whatnot, then if you enroll yourself in a high-end gym like Equinox or a gym like that, then you're going to be surrounded by people that you want to become, and then you're naturally just going to want to you act like them, right? And you could use this like into breaking a habit too, like if by leaving that group you are now and going somewhere new. Like if you like move to a whole new state where you didn't know anybody, you basically just can start over. The cues of your bad habits are gone, like, and to an extent those same cues you had are gone. All right, so the next thing is you got to make it easy, right? Like the easier, like our brains are wired, or we'll do the easiest thing. And so like, and the most effective form of learning is like practice. It's not planning. So you want to focus on just like kind of doing it instead of just like planning it. Like we live in a consumer world, which is like, because there's always social media, we're always consuming, but like you got to produce. I know it's hard. We're in a consumer-centered world, but produce. If you have an idea, go for it. Like if you're like, oh my god, this idea of a YouTube video would be great, make it, because someone could be thinking the same thing, and and then by the time you already get to it, like that idea could be gone, right? So you want to do the habits that like cause the least amount of effort, right? Like you don't want to have a habit that like you're gonna run every day for 45 minutes. Like that's not feasible. A good rule of thumb from the book is they said like 2 minutes is what you should do. Like you should say you're going for a run for 2 minutes every day, and just the fact if you're going for a run is gonna like be beneficial because you're running every day. It's only 2 minutes. We could all run or walk for 2 minutes, right? The inversion of this is like making it hard, right? So if you want to break a habit of like watching TV, right? After you're done watching TV, unplug it, throw it in your closet. So then if you want to watch TV, you literally have to go in your closet, take it out, and plug it back in. And then most of the time you're gonna be like, I don't want to watch TV that bad to go through all that, and then you're not gonna watch TV anymore. It's like just like small things like that which makes this book so valuable. And like I've used it in my own practice. Like I really want to start meditating, so I didn't do 2 minutes. I only did like 30 seconds, just to get in the mindset, and then I'm gonna work my way up. But like to even like 30 seconds is nothing. Like all right, I'm gonna just close my eyes and meditate for 30 seconds. Like it takes zero effort. Like it's not even a minute. Like, so just like do something you want to do for a short amount of time and just get used to actually doing it. It's gonna help you out in the long run so much. All right, and then the last thing is like make it satisfying. Like who wants to do a habit that doesn't make you feel good, or it's not even like satisfying, right? Like you're more likely to do something is if there's a reward after, right? But you got to figure out what like really reward that is. Like smoking cigarettes, like this reward of it de-stresses you when you smoke a cigarette, but in the long run, like there's no reward. It's a short-term reward and not a long-term. Like you got to think long-term and delayed gratification, right? And also to make it satisfying, what I kind of put is I have like I call it a power list. I got it from Angie Frisella, but you kind of just write down what you're gonna do that day. Not like make your bed or stuff like that, but like things that like need to get done. Just 3 to 5 things that need to get done that day to make it a win. I write little boxes, and if I do that, I check it off, and that like produces dopamine for me. It's just like checking off a box. Might sound silly, but works for me. Like it might work for you. And it's also, um, they talk about the Goldilocks rule. So what the Goldilocks rule is like, you've heard Goldilocks, like too hot, too cold, just right. Like you're trying to find that like middle ground. So let's say you really wanted to start playing tennis, right? So if you play tennis against Rafael Nadal, like you're gonna get smoked. It's not gonna be fun. If you play tennis against a 6-year-old, you're gonna beat them. That's not gonna be fun. Like you gotta find a competition that's like in your same like skill, because you'll keep working and you can exchange points. It's better that way, right? Um, Also, down the road, this is like if you keep producing these habits and getting better, like it's gonna get boring doing the same thing every single day, right? But that's what separates the amateurs, the professionals, is like getting past that boredom phase, and just keep pushing through. All right, that concludes it. If you stayed to the end, please subscribe and go to the link down below. I do have some one-on-one coaching slots available. I got all my links down there. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for sticking around.